Hey, welcome to another episode of Crush This Monster Podcast, presented by J Concepts and High Octane Coffee. More like J Concepts. But once again, thank you folks for this awesome episode that we're having today. We're doing the Monster Jam season right now. Just trying to get shows in the East Coast and stuff like that. So right now, like I said, trying to knock it in for Monster Jam. But I want to thank all you fans for all the 5-star likes and reviews on iTunes and Spotify. And also go to our spread shop. They Crush This Monster Truck Podcast, myspreadshop.com. Get some t-shirts, get some swags. Hey, yay. All that jazz. Also, 6B Apparel. Thank you for all these hoodies. And also our crew shirts. Those are $100 a pop. Message me or Brad and we'll hook you up. Also want to thank Monster Truck Attitude on Facebook and YouTube. Steve does an awesome job on Thursday Night Thunder. Downhill, die-cast Monster Truck Racing. Go take a look at that too. I'm still trying to get the Old Spice deal. Maybe they can help us out, get the ball rolling. So hopefully that comes about. If not, whatever. Once again, also want to thank Bryce Kenny for his book, Gears for Life. Here's the book right here. Go take a look at that. It's on Amazon.com and also on audio. And even cool enough, he even reads it to you. So if you want a nice bedtime story, he'll hook you up. If you're into those ASMR or whatever those called deals. So go ahead and take a look at that stuff too. Once again, Brad is at work right now, grinding it out in the state, in the country of Canada, being a roughneck, doing all the oil stuff, and he'll be on here when he can. He's going to probably knock out some episodes too for the podcast and all that jazz. So we're going to have our guest on here tonight, and then we'll do some intros here. So let's get the ball rolling right now.
This isn't your typical motorsports podcast. You're listening to Crush This, a monster truck podcast presented by High Octane Coffee and J Concepts. A show where we take you inside the minds of your favorite drivers, past and present, of the monster truck industry. And now, your hosts, Brad Shaw and Dan Chichagash. Buckle in. The show starts now.
And we're done. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, David Lee was on right there from old Monster Truck interviews and commercials and stuff like that. But we have Miss MIkayla Tulachka. So
Hello.
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I think I probably butchered your last name, but who hasn't?
You did.
Thanks. So how you been? And right now, you're doing your first quarter gig and everything like that. Let's go back, before we, I guess we could start, your family, your dad had, Just Get Her Done, the Robo Machine, stuff like that. And it was a few years back that your brother started, the family you talked about, and your brother started driving that stuff too. Now, I think if anyone was talking about who would drive next, I don't know if your name would be in the hat, but what was the works and the deal for you? Were you always interested in driving the truck, or was it just like, heck, I'll try it, and then you just had fun with it? How did you kind of got into it?
So back when Brandon was driving, I would always go to the shows, tire the trucks up, help them. But I just loved being the side background, being on the side, watching him, cheering him on. And then we went to an Elliott show. I think it was Ionia, Michigan, if I wasn't mistaken. But Elliott kept going, Michaela, jump in the truck, jump in the truck. And I'm like, no, there's no way you're going to put me in the truck and control this big truck, you know? So I actually jumped in the truck, had my dad in the radio, and Brandon actually went in the radio with me as well. And since then, I have been strapped in a truck right alongside with Brandon.
So then, your dad and Brandon, your family pretty much, pushed and built the second truck.
Yep.
The game plan was you behind the wheel of it, and then sometimes your dad would be behind the wheel of it. You come to your own. You wrote, I think, a couple weeks ago about your first quarter situation, your first year. You say you're a rookie, but a rookie in Monster Jam. You did some shows for All Star and a few throwdown and stuff like that. So, you get yourself into the throwdown, you get yourself into the All Star events, nice, decent outdoor areas. Some rodeo places are a small venue, and you're taking your time, climbing up. You are getting yourself comfortable behind the wheel of the truck, pretty much. And the All Stars and throwdowns, they helped you out, didn't it?
It helped me out so much. Like Wagner and Elliott, they did amazing with me. They let me learn, take my time, and I got to work outdoors, so I didn't have to worry about buildings. And Wagner's helped me because I got to work around K-rails as, quote, the wall of the building. But if I bumped into them, it was okay. But it was super awesome letting them let me start there and hopefully not ruin their show being a little newbie out there. But it was super cool. And I think without them, I probably wouldn't want to be in Monster Jam at all or even be behind the wheel of a monster truck.
So you go ahead and you still did Monster Jam University, correct?
Yep. I was there for 2 days and it was a lot of fun, but I actually went through 2 third members in one day. And then so the first day actually got cut real short. And then the second day I got to go and have fun for probably like maybe 2 hours.
So you get in beyond. Let's get a little bit in depth with the Monster Jam University, because you already have, Elliott and Wagons helping you out. You would have your brother, you have your dad, and you do all these shows. Oh, they put you in Monster Jam University, and they're dealing with, Mr. Tom Mentz. So when you're there, do you basically have to think to your head about, okay, I got the fundamentals down, but everything else that everyone else told me, I kind of put in the back burner. So I listen to Tom on what he says. So what you do when you get there, you try to clear your mind and just take all the information Tom has told you?
So I actually kept the information that my dad and brother told me because that was my basics to drive the truck. Like if I couldn't keep that in my head, I probably wouldn't know how to strap myself in. So once I got comfortable, drove around the pod a few times, then I had Tom in my ear. And Tom, he's like my uncle. We grew up. I was a little baby when I first met him. So he knew me as a kid. He knew me growing up. And so I was able to go on the radio with Tom and Brandon. So when Brandon couldn't get through to me, they put Tom on, and Tom kind of whipped me into shape and is like, hey, don't put your brother to shame. Like, go out there, run this truck harder than he did. And that actually helped me a lot because since I started, I kind of felt like I was underneath my brother's wings. He always took care of me. I always drove underneath him. But once I went to Tom's place, it's me and my truck. I have to go out there and perform as myself, not as the Tulachkas, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You have to make your own brand.
Yep.
Type deal.
Yeah.
You think about it's kind of a little bit of a business side of it.
Yep.
You're self as a driver. You're not Brandon. You're not Mitch. You're Michaela. So you have to cover your own, dot your I's, cross your T's on your own kind of brand, on helping you out as a driver, because fans are going to see you, and stuff like that. So you get the okay, you get the green light, unfortunately, and you come about, and I like the story how your dad always puts it on, and you two, how you guys get the Megalodon truck, the body, the identity, pretty much, because it's not like you're not like working. I guess you're kind of like contracted through the company to like run that body, but you're not like in the depths of Feld saying, okay, we're gonna put you in, Monster Mutt or Dalmatian type deal. They gave you a little bit of choices to run the pick which one, but out of everything, Megalodon was the top choice that you and your family picked, correct?
Yeah. So they actually started giving me like a list of truck bodies they wanted me to run. And it was Dalmatian, Scooby-Doo, Whiplash, and they started running these downs. And then they wanted me and my brother to switch chassis because the black chassis will match their themes better. So like for the dog, it's the black and red. And then like basically all Feld trucks are all black with another accent color. So once they gave me the shark, I'm like, I want to take the shark. I want to take Megalodon. I'm going to run with it. So my chassis is white, and I have all blue accents into it, and I think it looks amazing. The fans at World Finals last year, they told me it looked awesome. It's like a cool color scheme going on, and I'm really happy that they were allowed to let me keep my chassis and let me run the Megalodon.
Technically, I mean, you actually have the right color that matches the Megalodon truck in general. If you take a look at, they always talk about truck has to look like the toy, and your truck is the closest one to resemble the toy, not like the others. But like you said, you were doing your own brand. Not now, you're in a situation where you're not foreshadowing dealing with your brother, you're not with your dad. You're also dealing with all the company drivers have a Megalodon body on the truck. If there's another, I don't know if there was another independent team that had the shark body on also.
Yep.
I may forget who, but
Corey
you're doing okay. Corey, yeah, Corey.
Yeah.
And then you had Todd LeDuc, and then you had Bernier Light, and then you had Ashley Stafford.
Yep.
You had all these people that, especially, now you and Ashley are both rookies, and you guys have to produce your own type of deal with the shark. So you have all that, plus, you don't want to be underneath the shadows of your brother and your dad. So now you have to make your own trail, which is, you did the fins up and fins up, and you did all that stuff. So you, like you said, you took the ball and you ran with it. So when you had not really your own identity, what was kind of the stuff that you wanted to do to stand out differently? Not just the truck itself, but you as a driver.
Well, so all the Megalodon shark drivers, they do the shark bite. And I started doing that at the shows. I'm a very quiet, shy person. So getting me to go out in front of the fans, not much less talk, but me going out and do the shark bite and trying to get the crowd all involved, it was really hard for me. And so I started doing that. And everybody's like, what are you doing? That's an alligator. And I'm like, no, it's a shark bite. I drive Megalodon. And since I got called an alligator, I started fins up because I've rolled over so many times. It's only right to keep my fin up.
So prior to this year, you get the Megalodon truck. As a driver, you're entering your first arena show, well, with dashers and all that stuff. What was your goals prior to the 2023 season?
Oh man, I think my only goal was to complete a show. I was so nervous, shaking like a leaf in the truck. I don't even know what to think. I make sure my headphones are plugged in so I can make sure if there's an issue, I can talk to the family. But I think my goal is just to go out there and prove myself and be the Megalodon driver that the fans cheer for. My biggest fear was to let a fan down and be like, well, you're not a good driver, but you drive Megalodon. So I guess my goal is just to make sure that they think Megalodon is a good competing truck to go against Gravedigger.
Now, how was your goal? What was your goals like as a driver? Not Megalodon or just just get her done OG. For you, what was as a driver? What was kind of your goals? Like momentum, not hitting the wall. Obviously, it's a goal for everyone. Did you want to be competitive? Like Darren Miguez once told us, if I'm in the top 8, I'm good. And
Yes. Yes.
um, you personally, as a driver throughout the year, because you do more than just Monster Jam events. Dresser, Wisconsin, some throwdown shows here and there. So you, as a driver personally, what goals did you have set for yourself being a driver of this monster truck?
So being a driver, my goal is to constantly get better. I don't want to go to the next show and be like, oh, well, I'm working really hard on trying to do poppers, trying to get the truck to stay up. But once I get the truck to start moving, I'm already up to working in to reverse, trying to get that truck to move backwards. But if I go to the next show and I pop it up, but I can't even get it up, I feel like I'm falling down. So my goal is to continue building off what I did the last show and not to work my way downwards, but keep working myself up.
And is there a certain aspect of the shows that you're trying to focus on, like freestyle, two-wheel racing? It seems like for the generation of new people driving monster trucks, it seems like they go and do freestyle. Freestyle, just feeling everything, trying to get united between you and the truck. And then, a lot of the people like to try the two-wheel skills, and then they focus a lot on the racing side of it. Is there a step that you were trying to focus on mostly, especially when you're starting out doing the All-Star and the other independent promoters prior to Monster Jam? So was there like a list of elements that you want to tackle first?
Yeah, so now, like, when I started, it was momentum, learning how the truck works, if I hit the jump at a certain speed, if I whatever for freestyle. But right now, I'm really comfortable with freestyle. It's my favorite part. So right now, I'm working on skills and constantly trying to get the truck to balance, trying to do that sky wheelie, trying to perfect the way I can line up to it and jump it. But right now, I think it's more critiquing each move I do rather than the whole thing together.
Well, I'll get back to asking you some hard-hitting questions here, but I got to thank some people. Mr. Justin Stories has a book called Making Tracks, a pretty cool comic book that he has here. It's $10 a pop on Facebook. Message him, or on Amazon, and I think it's also going to be on audio. And by the time we're doing this, he should already have a episode 2 in the works for Making Tracks, Mr. Justin Stories. Also want to thank MW1 Entertainment, Mr. Mark Warner. He's an announcer for mostly the East Coast monster truck tours, but he's been doing a little bit of some southern states and stuff like that. But he really helps out this podcast and everything he does. So MW1 Entertainment on Facebook and on Instagram. Go take a look at that stuff. So you go through and you get to your first arena show. Nerves have to be skyrocket because now you have dashers and you have all this stuff and don't want to do building damage and stuff like that. And, going through that, I'm assuming your dad and brother really helped you try to get your mindset flowing on what to do in that scenario.
Yes, they kept me very calm. Me as a person, I always run through the what ifs, like what if I don't turn too soon? What if I crash, roll over into the boards? Like what's going to happen? But as soon as I got my radio hooked up, they kept me calm, told me exactly what I need to do, basically did the show with me in the headset. So that was pretty cool.
So you get through it. It's a long season technically. I mean, 60 shows? So I think you have the long. You were Central, correct?
Yep.
So you had multiple dates with 5 shows. So as a driver, your rookie season there, you gotta be mentally drained. And people may not know, you also go to school. You go to college too. So
Yeah.
did you take a little bit of a break during the first quarter season, or did you have to mix in school with that also?
I actually started mixing school with it, and then my program ended, and then it restarted in summer. So during my summer courses, I was headstrong with my classes, and then during first quarter, I only had one class to deal with.
So you're dealing with all that, and then the long, arena tour type deal. So the mental game had to been questioning, draining for you in general. Because you're doing so many shows. It's not like people are asking, oh, well, you drive a truck all year long. 5 shows is different than one show and coming back home that weekend. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's different than
Yeah.
going to do a show for Elliott or All Star, and it's one show for that Saturday, and you get back home. Not going
Yeah.
to Chicago, Rosemont Horizon, and then you have to do a show on Friday, 2 Saturdays, and 2 Sundays, and then get back home, turn the truck around, and then you're heading to like Toledo, where it's the same exact type of schedule, or you have to deal with a 4 or 3 show day. It's a little bit different, and I don't think people understand that it's you're driving all year long, but when you have multiple shows and you're going back to back to back to back to back weekends, it has to be draining for you. So how did you get yourself prepared mentally for this long ordeal, this long endurance race of pretty much Monster Jam from January to May?
It was very exhausting, but literally between shows, you go eat, get a quick nap. At the end of the show, like when there's 4 or 5 shows a weekend, you get food, take a nap in between shows. I like my sleep, so as soon as the next show's over, you wrench on the trucks and then you go straight to bed. Like to me, there's no partying, but for the other drivers, they are out living their life, having a good time. But I'm such a lazy person. I love my sleep, so I had to catch my naps when I could.
So that's what so that's pretty much got you going throughout the
Yeah.
whole, ordeal,
Yeah.
so you go ahead and you go through, your season. And at the end of the season, did you feel you accomplished the goals that you set in the beginning of the year?
Personally, I don't think I feel like I got any better. But when I ask my family, when I ask my dad and Brandon, or when I ask fans, they say that I'm constantly getting better since the last time they saw me. So when people tell me I do better, I take that in consideration. But to myself, when I rewatch my videos, I hate doing that because I feel like I'm getting worse every time I watch myself. So if the fans keep telling me I'm doing good, then hopefully I'm getting better.
That right there is kind of mixed, because I have talked to people about, them watching themselves and they learn from it. But then again, I have met people just like how you are.
Yeah.
They can't watch it, or they can't, or if they do, they'll just get ticked off at themselves. They'll
Yeah.
be the worst critic. Other people would be, yeah, maybe I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. A few weeks ago, we had Jasmine Borders. She was a rookie this year, driving for her dad, Tom, in the Full Throttle Monster Truck Tour, a truck called Funky Monkey.
Oh.
And she and her and her dad both talked about, what she had to do to pursue or try to better herself. And then, she took it like that. For myself,
Mhm.
I'm kind of like that. I like to watch what I'm doing. But then again, I have a kind of a mental fight, because I feel like, man, I'm doing pretty well in there. I watch the video, I'm like, man, I suck. Or like, I stink. Why did I do that? Like, I want to kick my own ass.
Yeah.
Like, if I was another person, I want to punch myself. And that's kind of what I feel. But then again, I remember that, and then when I'm behind the wheel again, I'm like, okay, I could do this a lot better. So,
Yeah.
and it's always like mixed emotions and stuff like that. Like, you don't know what really to do unless you just remind yourself, I guess, that you could do a little bit better. I'm thinking, but
Yeah. I'm
But
told
it's
I'm
go
told
ahead.
I'm hard on myself. So when I see something I do wrong, it's like, why did you just do that? And then you'd be like, okay, it's okay, we can fix it for next time. But the next time situation never comes. It's always something new that I'm like, really? You just did that again?
Yeah, it's always kind of like, I guess it's like that. I mean, you just never know. Like I had 3 car crushes in a row,
Mm-hmm.
and one car crush, uh, I almost got stuck.
Mm-hmm.
I got a car stuck underneath the truck. Come around, turn around, it flipped over. Me and Corey are. I'm parked. I moved the truck. I'm parked. I'm on the radio saying, "What are we gonna do?" And I got Corey on the radio going, "I don't know." I'm like, um, maybe I could push it over. Yeah, yeah, do that. I push it over. I'm like, no, that's gonna be worse. I think I'm gonna flip it over. Get this thing out of here. And the driver knocks the car out of there. The next week it was raining, and then the other week, um, I found one of these cars that popped me pretty good, and I didn't realize it. And I had like the truck sky like that, not like anything violent. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
whoo, about that. So it was like 3 different weeks, not knowing, different types of deals. But I, I was starting to get a little comfortable on the truck itself, and and it's I don't get guess I don't get a lot of time behind the wheel compared to others, but myself, I'm still learning about it. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, I mean, I don't know, I'm pre-rookie. I'm not even a rookie. I'm just driving around. I haven't even done a full-time scheduled event, different types, which this year I'll be doing the monster truck insanity tour. But you know, you, you like you said, we talked a little bit about your schooling, and people may not know that you are trying to be a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And um, you know, does teachers or other students talk to you about, okay, how's that monster truck thing going?
I have never told anybody that I am in a monster truck world. Everybody is like talking about their work, how they all work at jobs and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I just work weekends, like strictly weekends. I only work weekends. And actually, my one friend that I made at school, she added me on social media, and she's like, I just stalked your page, and oh my gosh, you drive monster trucks? And I'm like, yeah, not a big deal though. Like, it's not a big deal. But I actually don't tell anybody because I don't want to be treated differently. I want to be treated as a nursing student going into the nursing program. And I don't want people to look at me and be like, think I'm weird and stuff. I don't know.
It's, I guess, you
The
always gotta have
people
those guys
judge,
coming over to talk to you. Seems like they know more about the truck than you do, even though you're the one that's behind the wheel and working on it. They
yeah.
always gonna have that. I mean, you always have that when you're working on an automotive store, or wrenching on something. Someone seems a little more know more about it than you, and you never seen them in a day of your life at the same shop that you work at. So I
Mhm.
mean, but what in the medical field are you pursuing? It's not just being is it just a registered nurse?
Yeah, I'm actually heading for the registered nurse. I'm not sure what department yet. I was a CNA on the cardiac floor and I loved it. So maybe that area, but I also love rehab, getting people go home. So hopefully in one of those areas.
Well, that'd be pretty cool.
Mhm.
Nice weather of Wisconsin. The cold and
Oh
everything
yeah.
like that. But I guess maybe we haven't. I don't think anyone has talked about this, or I haven't heard or seen any interviews and everything like that. But I guess let's go back to the situation that happened at the shop. You guys had a little bit of a fire, and
Mhm.
I don't know if any. I don't know if. Sorry, I just sound like a broken record, like that little kid going, "What if? What if? What if? What if?" Um, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What did you know, what what was the phone call like? Where were you when you found out? Oh crap, our shop's on fire.
Yeah, so it happened on November 30th last year and we are in the middle of first quarter prep both trucks didn't have, or my truck had its tires on, was ready, but Brandon's truck just had its mover tires taken off, and they were sitting against the wall because he was working on the corners and third members and all that stuff. So his truck was basically pretty much stripped down, and it was probably like 8 o'clock at night. It was dark out, and my dad and mom and little brother were in the living room. They were just about to head to bed, and Brandon was upstairs, and all of a sudden there's just this huge like bomb noise that went off in the shop, and we didn't think anything of it. So my dad ran outside and opened the door, and just smoke started rolling out of the shop, and he's like, oh my God, our shop is on fire. So he called Brandon, called 911. We had all 8 counties around us come over with all their fire trucks. It was a huge fire, and we were to the point where Dad was trying to get in, trying to save the trucks. Brandon got all these chains ready to just strap them onto the trucks and rip the trucks out of the shop, because those were our main priorities. We literally had first quarter within a couple weeks. Like, we only had a month left, and we were not prepared to do like no truck, no bodies. Like, we just confirmed with Feld, got the Megalodon body all freshly fit. Brandon's body was brand new, all fit and everything. So the fire was going on. They finally got it out. It went up the wall. The fire went all the way up around the wall, burned the chassis. We had 3 chassis in there because my little brother's chassis was supposed to be in the process of getting built. So that chassis was sitting in the back. Our 2 trucks were good. His tires were actually what blew up to let us know that there was a fire. So
Holy cow.
Yeah, so if his mover tires were still on the truck, we probably would have never known. And a year before that, we had a water jet. So we still had water lines hanging from the ceiling, and the fire actually turned the pipe on. So the water that was on the ceiling actually shined perfectly on the trucks. So the only thing that we had to do was to redo wire, new bodies, and Lexan. There were stuff here and there that we had to work out during first quarter, but we had a lot of support from around the family, towns. We had 3 different shops the trucks went to. There was a shop downtown. We shop downtown that we hauled the trucks to, cleaned all the soot off, which took like a couple days. We had all hands on deck. Family, friends, everybody was there to help us. And then a lot of support from the monster truck world, where like Jim Kohler and Tom Menz actually told us to bring our trucks down there, and they actually had 2 trucks ready for us if our trucks were gone to run first quarter. So that was really cool to know that the monster truck world has our back, because we were really devastated when we knew that the fire was going on. The firemen actually made Mitchell and Brandon run back and forth to keep them busy, because we all just felt hopeless, not knowing how to take the fire down and whatnot. So it was a pretty tragic, but without my family, without the friends we have, without the monster truck world, we probably wouldn't have been able to do first quarter.
So you already had the Megalodon body on the truck already?
Yeah, it actually it melted around the chassis. So the fireman, one of them is related to us, and he's like, one whole chassis completely burned down. Like, it's round and everything, but they didn't know that I ran the Megalodon body. So like, their melted down was just the body melted around my frame. So my frames was perfect, just full of soot, but the body melted around it, so they thought that the truck was gone.
So you guys made the phone call to Feld, and they just came over and they sent you guys another one?
Yep, so we got a whole brand new body. They sent us wiring harnesses that we needed, new lights, basically sent us whatever we needed. Night shipped it so that we could get the trucks ready for first quarter.
So what little gremlins did you guys find out during the season that was caused by the fire?
Just a lot of wiring issues, a lot of wiring. I think something with I think the Heims on Brandon's truck, all like, I don't really know what happened, but we found out in Texas that his Heims got really bad and he had to weld it and cut it off to get off the truck. So,
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
we didn't find out about all these problems. Like, these problems went on through a whole first quarter. Like, this didn't just one day we looked through the entire trucks and everything was perfect. Then we ran them for 8 weeks and we're still having problems.
So I like to thank also Hall Brothers Racing. They give us our decals that we give on all the independent trucks to help us promote the podcast and stuff. So go take a look and during their first quarter, Homer Ammunition and Ammunition and Hotsy. Also, JB Scale Graphics, officially licensed by Bigfoot, Obsessed, Bad Habit, and Overkill for RC monster truck stuff. And they also do some pretty cool flags. And they also came out with a front clip of snakebite. So you can do more than just snakebite, like tailgater and stuff like that. I know your brother's in the RC monster trucks and stuff like that, so that will help them out also. So go to jbscalegraphics.com. You know, so you're entering your first quarter this year, round 2.
Yes.
And is it going to be like deja vu? Or you have goals again for this year?
What's that? Sorry.
I said, what different goals do you have this year?
So I'm not so focused on my first year being a rookie year. I'm gonna go out there and have fun. I'm not gonna be stressed, but I'm gonna continue building on. My goal is to keep working up, stop being so timid. I think each show I get less and less timid. So I'm hoping by the end of the year I'll be confident just jump in and go for a ride.
You try to beat your brother?
Yeah, that'd be fun. Every once in a while I'll beat him, and it's amazing.
So, I mean, you got you're the Central again, I think, this year, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's different. It's like all mixed up from East and Central from last year.
I think you have five show weekends.
Yeah, it's like 5, 5, 5, 4, 5. Just the whole year, might as well be.
Man, that's gonna be rough, but it is what it is. Yeah, you're excited. Any venues that you're excited to go to?
I guess I didn't really look at the full schedule, but last year we had Green Bay, which was a hometown show. Unfortunately, we don't have that this year, but we do have Milwaukee. And I'm actually pretty excited for Milwaukee because it is a hometown show, but it's also a little further away from being home, but still in the same state, if that makes sense. But I'm pretty excited for that one.
Milwaukee's just a suburb of Chicago.
Yeah, it is. But
that whole area.
Still hometown to us.
Yeah, it's home state. It's homegrown and everything like that. So that's excited. Yeah. And how also people may not know you have an older brother, Mitchell, and I think your brother Mitchell and Brandon started an excavation company, correct?
They did. Actually, it's my dad and older brother started a construction company called Mitch & Sons.
Man, that's cool. How's that? Do you help out with that also, or
I don't.
You don't?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Gotcha. Yeah. But I guess they're doing pretty good. The way I was talking to your dad at Dayton, they're getting gigs and they're working on, all these projects and stuff like that, and getting backhoes and excavators and stuff like that now.
Yeah, he just got auctioned for more toys to be put in our yard. So they got all those. They're supposed to be busy all year next year. So we'll have Mitchell bouncing back and forth between shows and being at home to work for the company.
And then your younger brother, he's starting to now grow up now to getting his hands dirty and stuff like that also, right?
Yeah, he's definitely going to be the next driver. I hope he doesn't kick me out of my seat, so he might.
Well,
he's already
He's already trying?
Yeah, oh yeah.
But he's starting to learn a little bit of the trucks and stuff being a crew member, correct?
Yeah, so he actually does a lot. This week with the truck teardown, me and Brycey, we actually fixed my whole truck besides making brackets, but Brandon's been teaching him that. But basically, he knows how to tear the corners apart if there's a broken axle or take the tranny out if we have to replace it. The family rule is if you know how to work on the trucks, you can drive them. So he's been getting in there, getting greasy, and trying to earn his way up to being a driver.
Do you get your CDL?
Me? No.
Why not? Rebecca
I'm-
Snell did it.
I'm busy studying in the back.
You can study more.
Brandon's going to watch this, and he'll have a word with me, but they want me to start driving.
There we go. See? Then you can do your own team stuff.
Yeah, I could.
But you don't want to because you like sleeping and you're lazy.
I don't sleep. I stay up with one of the drivers. We usually take shifts. So it's like Brandon and Bryce take a shift, and then me and my dad take a shift. So
okay.
we go back and forth.
You like sleeping, though.
I do. I might fall asleep in the passenger seat, but I'm still up in front with them. That counts.
Do you have a certain type of? I always remember. I know when Nathan falls asleep, his head goes vertical like that, and I know he's out. Mine's like that. But what's your go-to nodding moment when you're in the passenger seat of your rig?
Well, right between the seat and the window, I shove a bunch of blankets behind me, and then I just like cozy up next to that.
So you have the vibration of the everything going on the road and the wind and stuff like that. I gotcha. Well, more to learn. If anyone wants to try that out and see how it goes, let's see how it goes.
Oh yeah.
But any social media people can follow you at?
Where can they follow me?
Yeah.
You can follow me on Instagram as MIkayla_Tulachka, on Facebook as I think MIkayla Tulachka, and I think that's it. I don't go on it very often, but you can hit me up on Instagram and I'll be on there.
She hired someone to filter through her stuff, so all you creeps, watch out.
Yes. His name is Cheech.
What? Oh, you mean the filter? Or I'm not a creep. Whatever.
Just kidding.
Oh, yeah. So yeah. Well, thank you for being on, and hopefully I think go to monsterjam.com and find out the Central Arena Tour Central to a city near you. From January to early May. It's the same deal. Same thing with us. Go take a look at the Monster Jam East Tour. From January to May also, and then the May 18th is the Monster Jam World Finals in Los Angeles. And are you gonna be there?
I will be. That's actually my friend, so I will be there.
Your birthday weekend?
My birthday is the week before.
Oh.
While we're prepping trucks, so I'll be out there for vacation and then the monster trucks.
Gotcha. All right. Oh, cool. And all right. Well, catch Michaela in Megalodon this season, and also outside of that, is the truck still going to be the Just Get Her Done original, or is there any ideas in the works for another different identity for your off Monster Jam shows?
Currently we don't have an idea. We just have the Get Her Done original, which I've been very comfortable with that truck, and I turned all the wording pink. So I think that's my look for right now. We don't have very many independent shows, so that's kind of been on hold until we become busier.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on our podcast. It was pretty cool to have you on finally. And
only 3.
Huh?
Only 3 years.
Yeah. Well, most of the time it's me not continuing on. You say okay, and I just don't ever answer back. Like, yeah, okay.
It was a busy week, so
I never fall through with it, so it's my fault. I'll take responsibility for that.
Oh, perfect. I'll let you have it.
Okay, and well, guys, I'd like to say thank you for everyone that gives us 5-star likes on iTunes and Spotify. Thank you for everyone that helps us out. Once again, I think I did the whole episode and I forgot to put our sponsors and stuff like that in there. And then that one too. I wish I can, move that more towards the right. Anyway, so, thank you for all the people that have helped us out and stuff like that. So, like I said, next week, I will let you know who will be on another TBA and go from there. Also, want a few little messages here for Brad. Also, if you're in trouble and anything that goes on, talk to a friend, talk to a family member. It's okay to talk about to anyone that's willing to able to talk about any problems. Mental health is a big situation and issue that goes on in the United States. And please, please, please talk to someone if you have anything going on. I know it's easier said than done, but if you do, it will take so much weight off your back that you just never know. And also the people, just also remember, it's okay to say hi and talk to someone because you just never know where you can maybe save someone's life. So go that also. Also, for like friends with Matt Schultz, donate blood. Go to the Red Cross, Central Blood Bank, stuff like that. Giving blood helps out the community. Will help out anyone that needs in a certain situation that really hurts them or anything that's going on. So go to your blood drive and help the community out with that also. But that's MIkayla Tulachka. I screwed it up. I'm sorry. I'll get it right someday. But I'm Dan Chichegosh. That's Bradshaw too. Like he always says, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. Peace. Ooh.